la 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 la. We're back on air. We're back. We're on it. I found 50p. Put it in the meter. Don't know what the hell went wrong there. Something just went, and then all of a sudden there's this all of a god racket of a noise going. Da, 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 da. Did you hear that as well?
Yeah, apparently it was to do with musical theatre being chatted about, according to a certain person in the chat room.
Anyway, we're back. We're back for the next 5-10 minutes. Pete, you still with us, mate?
I am indeed.
Who have we lost? Who's had to go?
Baz had to disappear, and we've lost Karen as well.
Oh, bless them, hug them, squeeze them, kiss them, hug them, whatever you need to do with them. Thank you very much to Baz for coming on the show. Thank you very much indeed to the one and only Rango the dog, Matthew Meadows, coming on the show as well. And thanks to Karen for dropping in for a surprise visit. It was really good. Now, we got to the vinegar strokes there, Sasha, where we're telling them about what's coming on with the show until the last part, the last show of season 2, and what you had planned, and then it all went a bit wonky. So go on.
It all went tits up.
Tits up to Daisy. Yeah, go on. Tell them how it is.
Right. The final show. What I'm going to be doing with each season is have guests on for the first 5, and then leave the last show to be a bit more of an interactive sort of show with a set theme for the final show to then go into season 3. So the last part of season 2 will be dedicated to purely musical theatre. So whether you like it or not, or whether you love it, come and join us in the chat room, or just listen in. Tell us why you like musicals or why you don't, and if you'd like to do any dedications for people as well. If you just want to break up the whole thing with the musical theatre and do some requests, then please do so as well.
What I want to know is something that was burning me here, is that your listenership now, Sasha, is you've brought quite a few of your listeners over from the old Radio Free Brighton days, haven't you? There's a few that have followed you over as well.
That's right.
And you've got a good old collection down there in Brighton, which is where you're from, that come in and listen to your shows. How many of them come into the chat room? Are there many chatters in there, or what have you?
Most of them are listeners, a lot of the time, but I've got to give a huge shout out to a couple of people, actually. A huge shout out to Gothic Raven, aka Cassie Hancock, who is an avid listener of Night Owl. She's in the chat room constantly, and she's brilliant. She's lapping it up. And then, of course, we've got a new guy who's come over. His nickname's Jock, but his real name's John. And he's in the chat room a lot, but a lot of them are listeners. Some don't even come into the chat room. They also interact with me via the private messaging system on Facebook as well. Yeah. So it's either way.
It's different horses for all sorts of courses, really, and not everyone's a chatter, and that's something that we've always struggled with here in what was Reputation and Audio Burger. Sorry, my throat is going at the moment. I'm suffering here with man flu right now.
I feel for you, love.
There we go. But one of the things that we've always battled with is chat rooms, and we've often said, shall it stay, shall it go, all the rest of it, and it's going to stay. But ladies and jelly bubbles, if you're coming into audioburger.com and you're seeing a chat room there, and it's not for you, chat's not for you, then hey, do you know what? It's quite simple. Just at the bottom of the chat room, there's a sign out button. And all you got to do is click on that, and then you don't get people annoying you going, hey, why aren't you chatting? Talk to me. You're in the chat room. Why aren't you chatting? Because that puts people off as well. So if you just want to come into the site, listen to the radio shows, listen to the great music that we're pumping out to you 6 days a week now. There's going to be a few more shows added in through seasons 2 and 3. If you just want to come in and listen to the music, then all you got to do, as soon as you get into the radio site, is click the sign out button on the chat room. Then you won't be bothered with all of that hoo-ha. You just listen to the shows. But if you want to come and join us in the chat room, we've and ahed, should we put the chat room on the front site or not? And I think it's best that we leave it on the front site, so it's not going to move from there, really. I think that's how we're going to rock and roll with it. But what I like about what your shows bring in, Sasha, is the fact that there are a lot more communicators. Start again, put my teeth in. They're a lot more communicative with you on the old emails than most of the other shows, I must be honest with you.
Oh, thank you.
I've noticed that as well. So your listenership is more of a traditional radio-based listenership, where it's the old shoving in the old emails and what have you to get to the presenter's notice, really. So that's interesting to see how that's evolving. That's really interesting.
I think it also helps that the guests that I have on also bring their own supporters in. So again, some come into the chat room. I mean, look at Baz Francis. I hate to refer back to Baz Francis, but he's a typical example. He brought quite a lot of his fans over into the chat room, but there are others who were a little too shy to come in, but they emailed me questions through on that show because of something they'd always wanted to know about him. So they literally came through that way, and a couple of people who hadn't even heard of Baz Francis, they were like, oh, okay, let's see what happens here. So it's all tentative strides forward, I think, depending on who's on the show, and also I think just who's listening in. And again, it's like you were saying with the whole different listenership coming in. I think it's the same for all shows. I think between all of us, we have people listening in not just in our local area, but also globally. I mean, goodness me. I mean, I've got people listening in from America. France is another one. It all depends on what guests are on at what time as well. It's brilliant.
That's true. With our with the way that we've got this set up with Spreaker, I'm going to come in with Pete and get his opinion on a few things, because I know he feels about a few things. I was wanting to come in on something, but with the way that our shows are set up on Spreaker, as soon as we do a show, it then goes straight out to podcast. Now, the beauty of podcasts, and we have and ahed about that in the past when we've been doing these shows, is it worth doing a podcast? And I think obviously the answer is a massive yes, because of the time zones all over the world. People can get to listen to the shows and what have you all over the place. Now, this show, for instance, because I've got this Adobe widget thing here that tells me where people are listening to, where they are, in fact, all over the world. We have got we're being broadcast to. People are listening to us in obviously the west coast of the States. We know that. We got the east coast. We got the Midwest. We got Canada. We have got Alaska. We have got Germany. We've got France. Who else? We'd go down the list here. It's because it's not in alphabetical. Should be alphabetical, shouldn't it? But it's not. It's New Zealand. We're being listened to right now in New Zealand, in Japan. Now that's a totally different bloody what it must be silly o'clock in the morning for these guys, but we thank you very much indeed for listening. Also being listened to obviously in the UK and most of Northern Europe. One of the places that really gets me, and it always does get to me, is we're being listened to in Colombia, and I wonder who that could be, Pete.
Has to be, doesn't it?
It has to be, doesn't it? It has to be our good friend over there in Bogota in Colombia. And it just goes to show that we're all over the show. We really are. We're all over the shop when it comes to listeners. Even Wales. There we go. Amazing, isn't it? People listening in Wales. And we do love the Welsh. So it's really good to know that we're reaching out. Now, these podcasts, when we're reaching out, we're looking back schematic at these listening figures. And the thing that really grabs me, guys, is the fact that it's places that you never thought would be interested in the kind of music that we're playing, especially with the genres we're doing, and because it is very European. It's a very European show, obviously, except for Matthew's show, of course, which is rates of the US, which is fantastic. But it's a very European show. So for it to be reaching out all over the world and getting into different pockets and places where you never thought it would be is quite amazing. And I was going to ask you, Pete, why do you think that is?
I guess certainly on the live show, the Friday show, it not say the mystery, but it makes you sort of wonder. Certainly countries where maybe English isn't the natural speaking language.
Yeah.
But a lot of shows like, say, the Bone, which obviously I know more about, sort of rock metal is such a universal area. And the bands we've played go from every continent. You know, we've had bands from India, South America, obviously North America, Europe, Russia, Eastern European, especially. Metal is alive everywhere, and rock.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with Night Owl as well, because again, it's the same thing. It's like you, Pete. People from all over the flaming globe, and again, because people resonate, they're like, "Oh, I know that track. I know that track. How about this band?" So you get suggestions. I mean, do you find that, Pete, as well with yours?
Oh yeah. It comes everywhere. Australia. There isn't an area really. It's not affected by and knowledgeable. Rock, metal, etc. Whether that would apply to, we don't do pop, but that sort of genre,
Wow.
where there's quite a difference between even sort of North American and European pop, not the sort of crappy stuff you see on the telly, but the proper stuff. I'm not too sure, but there's some genres it's a universal thing.
And I'm glad you brought the TV thing up, Pete, because it just goes to show really that the music that we're reflecting is obviously the music that people want to hear, because it's not being rammed down their throats 24/7 like it would be in the major leagues, or in the media as it is today, especially here in the UK. It's dreadful for the shit that we're getting pumped into our faces each and every day. Absolutely dreadful. We've talked about this before in past shows, but it's still very interesting, to say the least, to say the different cultures and the different countries embracing what it is that we're at. Well, we're not ramming down their throats, but we're just blasting out there into the internet waves, if you know what I mean. People are picking it up, so it's really good to see that. What we got coming up for, I'm just going to let you know what's going to be coming up with Audio Burger for the next foreseeable future, especially as we go into season 2 and eventually into season 3. I'm not going to give too many names away right now, but we've got a few more DJs coming in. We got a couple more live shows added to the Audio Burger roster, and quite a few podcasts as well. So we're going to give you a variety of different styles, different beats, different flavours, all the rest of it. We got some rap, we got some hip hop coming in, we got some dance music, we got some electronical stuff coming in. We've also got some more talky shows. We've got another paranormal show kicking off as well. It's all kicking off big time here at Audio Burger, and this is what this is all about. This is why I call it Audio Burger, because it's just one great big. It's like a burger. You look at a burger. If you were to split a burger down, you'd go, "Oh, I don't want to have that." You put it all together under a nice bun, bit of relish. It's lovely, and that's what Audio Burger is all about. It's a cacophony of all sorts of stuff, and that's what it's all about. It's the passion for the new music, independent vibe, and we're also looking at brand new labels, independent labels. This is a brand new feature. Independent labels and independent promoters as well. So people out there promoting the stuff. They got some gigs on. Doesn't matter where they are. They could be out there in Bogota, in Colombia. If you want to bring it in, bring it in. Let's talk about what's going on in your neck of the woods. Let's talk about it. And that's what we're going to be bringing in as well. So it's like a smorgasbord of independent hoo-ha. It's going to be great. It's all kicking off. So that's what's going to be happening. To be honest with you, we've took a punt with this Audio Burger malarkey, and it's worked out quite well, Pete, to be honest with you.
I think so, yeah.
Because we were a bit sketchy coming back, weren't we, from this reputation stuff?
Yeah. Well, we've been on that side and, wore it thin. Yeah. And sort of, discover what we didn't like, what we didn't want to be venturing, and I think you have that little reserve feeling, always can we, evolve it into something better? Yeah,
can we pull it off?
Yeah, in a different way, and I think we have.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm absolutely amazed at what's been going on over the last 6 weeks at season 1, 5 weeks, I beg your pardon, season 1. Absolutely amazing. It has gone better than I have ever hoped and planned and dreamed, let's put it that way, because it was a bit of a risk bringing it all back in after the ceremonious fuck off, I've had enough after the reputation days. And we brought it back in, and I'm absolutely thrilled. So thank you very much indeed to the following. That's yourself, Pete, for doing the fantastic stuff, sticking by us. Thank you very much.
More pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Rango, aka Matthew Meadows, for the fantastic contribution he's been putting in, and everything he does on the internet as well. Fantastic. To Baz, and also to Steve as well, Steve Armitage, otherwise known as Silky or Silk, for their fantastic contributions to Loving the Alien. To Sasha Cooper for treading the boards twice a week with us here at Audio Burger. Fantastic live shows coming out at you Thursdays and the Sundays, and also want to thank myself for having the patience to get up and fucking get in and do it. So there you go. Thank you. Thanks to Karen for all the things that she's done in the chat room, and thank you to all of you chat room people as well that make it entertaining, gives us something to shout about, because some of the stuff that you say actually gets through and gets out on the air as well. So that's what it's all about. It's a little bit of live interaction. Not for everybody. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but seems to be for the people that come in. So keep coming in. It's all been great. So thank you very much indeed. We're going to tail off right now. We're going to play out. We're going to fuck off and go home. Simple as that. So I've had enough. I'm sure you have as well. It's been a long night. Pete, cheers, buddy.
Thank you. And good night to everybody out there. Have a great couple of weeks. And we'll be back even bigger and better.
Exactly. We've got a couple of weeks off, guys, but we will be back. And Sasha, we're looking forward to seeing what's coming up in the interim when you do this live thing.
Yes, well, looking forward to it as well.
Keep us posted. All right, guys, we're going to shoot off. Thanks very much indeed. Take care, and, bye-bye.
Yeah.
People always tell him not to be such a clown, but he follows